Welcome, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon, and it is the final day of the Legend League Tournament January 2024 season, and our good friend, Itsu, is in first place, or at least he was last time I checked. Make sure you go check out the results tonight, as by the time this video comes out, we will be into the nearly final hours of the season. Itsu struggling to maintain first place in what has become an extremely competitive season, and of course also one of the most overpowering seasons in the history of Legend League, as well, Root Riders rule the day. I was fortunate enough to visit Itsu's clan and check out some of his recent Legend League attacks that are insanely good. And of course, I will be following up with a Root Rider how-to episode in the next couple of days that talks a little bit more about this strategy and how we took it, simplified it, went out and crushed our own maxed out, or well, not quite fully maxed out, but pretty strong bases in Legend League. So I'll show you guys that in a minute. But obviously, Itsu, far from a spammer, he is going to break down every single quadrant, every single defense, every single defensive troop and ability. It's scientific to watch this. It is so much fun, and it's actually, amongst all of the most complicated attacks, Queen Charge Root Rider, not really all that difficult. I would say the main difference between this and an average attacker's Queen Charge Root Rider is the number of utility troops that he brings, the number of spells that he brings as well, a variety. There's so many moving parts. This is something that only comes with practice. In fact, the best analogy that I could come up with comparing Clash to some other skill would be juggling. This idea of adding another ball, once you've mastered 3 balls, you add a 4th, add a 5th, add a 6th, and so on and so forth. That's really similar to what we're watching right here. The skeleton spell, the additional balloons, the baby dragon, the minions, all of these other troops are, yes, complicating the attack and making things really more difficult for the average player, because you are going to get your workload just overloaded at some point because there's too many things to keep track of at once. But the basics are really not that difficult to master. In fact, Itsu brings a drill. Do you see the battle drill on the left-hand side? By targeting defenses, that has specifically helped in funneling the Root Riders towards the core of the base. And that's about it, really. Seriously, keep the queen alive. In comes the Barbarian King kind of after the fact, and his ability, now that is a big controversy recently, talking about the Warden ability and the Barbarian King's giant gauntlet. That has definitely changed the balance of the game. You can see here, that's not something that Itsu is using, but a lot of players are using it, and it is technically a glitch. You may have noticed a few little glitches in the game that have not been corrected, like the weird one when you try to use wall rings and it doesn't bring up the correct text. I think that Clash is waiting for an actual maintenance in order to make those corrections. The same with the Gauntlet and the Warden ability bug. Rather than taking the game down and losing, I don't know, probably a lot of revenue for having the game down for a while, they're going to wait until there's another big client update and they can get more information, more changes into the game at once, I'm guessing, right? Okay, so Itsu definitely showing us the way. We're going to look at more of his attacks today, just because I would love to see how to do this attack better myself. And in fact, if you watch all 3 of these attacks today, I promise you by the end of this video, you will be a better attacker or your money back. All right, let's go ahead and watch the next one. Now, I probably would not have thought to come over here on the far right-hand side with the Archer Queen. I would have thought Archer Queen goes after the Town Hall, but with the strength of the giant gauntlet, the Barbarian King is an absolute Town Hall destroyer. He is going to roll right in here and take out that entire enclosure. So that's not only, of course, going to funnel the Root Riders from the right-hand side of where you're going to see them drop, but it's going to take out the Town Hall so that nobody else has to deal with the poison and all of that garbage over there. So Barbarian King's Gauntlet momentarily goes off and annihilates every single defense in one shot, takes out the gold storage, and there goes the Town Hall. 1, 2, 3, 4, Town Hall gone, and that's it. There go the Root Riders and the Warden on the right-hand side after that Archer Tower, and you can see beautifully they are going to avoid the poison from the Town Hall and go right in after the Monolith, which again has been distracted by that single skeleton spell. Now, I will admit to you that as soon as I saw this army set up, I copied it, I went out in Legend League, and I fumbled. It was bad. It was really not pretty. It wasn't to go from an average queen charge attack to an Itsu level queen charge attack. It doesn't happen right away. So like I said, in a couple of days, there's going to be another video that comes out that dumbs it down and gives you a strategy for the average clasher. And if you are considering yourself around my level, I think I'm like a B- attacker, right? I'm maybe just slightly above average because I've attacked a few tens of thousands of times, but you know, we're spamming most of the time. This attack, spamming, obviously, you've seen the videos I've made about it. It does work in the current state of the game, but again, I would expect that Root Riders are going to be balanced either A, by having their stats reduced, or 2, by having defenses upgraded that defend against ground units. But okay, this attack just about to wrap up. Itsu with another beautiful 3-star. Although I will also tell you this, Itsu admitted that his secret to success this season lies more so in his base designs than it does in his attacking. In fact, Itsu barely had time to talk to me this season because he's spending 16 plus hours a day working on testing bases with other players, designing bases, and then rotating through them every couple of days. Imagine the amount of time that you have to invest in that, because obviously I would guess that he's getting 3 stars on almost every single attack and focusing mostly on improving his defenses. Also, notice that he probably spends that entire 30 seconds scouting before he starts an attack, very carefully considering where to send in the queen, how to funnel, which siege machine to use, etc., etc. And yes, this time he goes with the blimp that is going to go in and wipe out the monolith. So the flexibility to be able to change sieges, to change strategies, kind of crazy to be this far ahead of the game. But the rest of us, like I said, shouldn't try to get to this point unless you are considering trying to be a world championship caliber player. I mean, look at the use of the wall breakers rolling in and again pathing that archer queen with a little bit of funneling off to her right. There's a couple of buildings down already, so we know she's going to go in after the town hall. That means Town Hall goes down. The Root Riders, again, for the 3rd attack of the day, do not have to deal with that Town Hall at all. And then the Baby Dragon on the top left around 12 o'clock right now, just kind of completing the funnel. In go the balloons to try to, again, clear out any other seeking air mines. The Root Riders move in with the King and the Warden this time. So I'm guessing maybe the Giant Gauntlet Warden ability feature, is it a bug? Is it a glitch? Is it a feature? Is going to be used right here. But Town Hall down, funneling on the top left. Not really, right? There's not much needed because Itsu knew where the Root Riders were going to go based upon where the remaining defenses are. The rest of the attack comes down to, once again, STAP, spell timing and placement. Timing of the hero abilities. Notice he's got a skeleton spell, an invis spell, a freeze spell, a couple of goblins, barbarians, archers, the queen ability, and of course the royal champion's ability. And I do stand corrected. It looks like Itsu waited and used the king's ability after the Eternal Tome had already completed. So he's not even using that little glitch feature bug thing that a lot of players are taking advantage of, at least that I could tell. We might have to go back and look at that in a replay. Either way, we know that Itsu's got another 3-star right here. He is continuing to dominate Legend League, and it's going to be really exciting to watch the final results of this season's trophy race and see if Itsu can grab it. I know that this is absolutely emotionally and physically exhausting to put this much work into the game. And another little thing Itsu told me, he said that it's usually only a matter of hours from when he puts out his brand new Legend League defense onto the server and it gets hit, that he sees it popping up in Discords and players have replicated the base and the link is out there for other players to use. So wow, just so much effort. Thank you, Itsu, again for letting me join your clan and checking out the replays. Thank you, everybody else, for sticking around all the way to the end of today's episode. Now get out there, push to Legend League #1, or maybe just enjoy the best of the rest of your day, week, month, and year. Be kind to other people, animals, and the planet. And of course, I hope to see you all back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Carry on, that looks easy. I'll do it next month, no problem. Peter, $17, #1.